Alright folks, this is my review of the Tiger II German heavy tank series. Well, actually, this will just be a review of the first two tanks in the series, the Tiger II-P with the Porsche turret, and the Tiger II-H with the production Henschel turret. Both of these are armed with the 88mm. I will not be reviewing the Tiger II with the 105mm gun because I haven't unlocked it yet. So, we've got the Tiger II-H first of all. As I said, the 88mm KWK 43, battle rating 6.7. And yeah, this vehicle has good firepower, good armor, but bad mobility. Here we are looking at the armor scheme. The lower glacis plate has about 180mm of armor, effective. The upper glacis has at least 200 or so. There is a very small weakness in the machine gun port, but you need to hit it just right. The front of the turret has about 185mm of armor. Not really sloped at all. And essentially what you want to shoot for is either the lower glacis plate or the flat part of the turret. Now the side of the turret is not really well armored enough that it's going to be worthwhile to angle it much. So more or less you want to point the turret pretty much straight on, maybe with just a few degrees of angling to try to maximize all effective armor. Here we are in X-ray view. You can see the two big ammo racks in the back of the turret. Also, there are ammo racks in the sides of the vehicle, which is typical of German vehicle layout. The transmission is mounted in the front, so you can get immobilized from hits to the front. Fuel tanks are well concealed in the bottom of the vehicle. Now you'll notice with the Tiger II-H, the turret ammo racks are actually protected with extra track links, which is not true of the Tiger II-P, shown here. Battle rating 6.3. Now, it used to be that the Tiger II-P was also battle rating 6.7, so there wasn't much point once you've unlocked the Tiger II-H to keep driving the Tiger II-P, because the armor of the Tiger II-H is definitely better. You can see it here. For the flat parts of the turret, there's about 100mm of effective armor. Now the turret is pretty well sloped. The lower part of it can apparently be a bit of a shot trap in that it deflects incoming rounds onto the thin upper hull armor. As far as the hull armor, it's exactly the same as the Tiger II-H, including the weak spot, the very tiny weak spot. Now again, the turret of the Tiger II-P does not have track links hanging off its sides, and so the ammo rack in the back of the turret is not given any extra protection. So you can see here, again, the various ammo racks to be aimed for, transmission in the front. So, yeah, that's kind of it for the walk around here. The two vehicles, pretty well armored for the most part. Not very mobile, because it's got the same engine pretty much as the Tiger 1 and Panthers. Okay, so here we are on Kursk, which is the natural element for a Tiger 2 because of the long engagement distances. Now you can see here this 85mm shot from this T-44 bounced off and didn't do any damage to my armor. Essentially, you're more or less immune in the Tiger H from 85mm ammo, at least from the frontal aspect. And again, taking a hit head-on from an SG-152. Not sure what he hit, but didn't really do much damage to me at all. On this map, the Tiger 2 does very well because of the long engagement distances, which plays to the advantage of the Tiger 2's heavy armor. And also because the map is relatively open, and so it's hard for the enemy to sneak up on you. Here we are again on Kursk, spotting an IS-2 at long range, sporting winter camouflage. Take it out with one hit. There's another IS. First shot hits the side of the turret. Take return fire from him. No damage. The second shot goes through the lower plate, detonating the fuel. So, yeah, basically this tank is a really, really good gun. Pretty good armor, and poor mobility. Just need to play accordingly. Always need to be looking around, making sure you aren't being outflanked. And as a general rule, it's good to operate with friendlies so you can have mutual support. And that's generally true for a lot of vehicles, I would say. There are some exceptions. For example, if you're playing a fast light tank, in order to reach advantageous positions on the battlefield, sometimes, maybe even oftentimes, you need to drive out ahead of the main force in order to occupy a good position. Also, if you're playing a tank destroyer, sometimes it's a good idea to hang back. So, yeah, so this bit of gameplay is to just show that, at least with sufficiently large distances, you're pretty much immune to lower tier guns. For example, the Soviet 85mm, the American 76mm. Meanwhile, this 88mm KWK-43 L71 cannon is very, very accurate. It's very consistent. Once you find the range, the shell is going to consistently fly true where you aim it. So you can be very confident in using this gun. Okay, finally, there's a bit of simulator gameplay on Poland. Where I'm in the Vanguard here, and again, take a shot right in the face from this SU-100Y. And again, this just goes to show how tough the armor of this vehicle can be. Now that SU fired at me again, I think, and he must have had a damaged gun, destroying himself in the process. But took 2 hits from that SU-100 with a 130mm gun, I believe. Shrugged it off, no problem. Get hit again from something, I'm not even sure where I got shot from. Now, in a Tiger II, you need to be very careful maneuvering in these built-up urban environments. So always be wary about getting flanked. Now, unfortunately for this T-44 here, he shot a pillar instead of shooting me. So he shot the pillar, knocked down the fence, and I shot him. Yeah, so what I was saying about playing in these urban maps in a slow vehicle like a Tiger II is that you need to be very careful. Always checking your sides, always checking behind you. Make sure an enemy isn't getting a drop on you. Now, T-44 up ahead. So I put a good shot into him. Now, unfortunately, this Panther went out ahead without support. So he's dead, but I'm gonna get to revenge him. So I would say the bottom line for the Tiger II is that you need to play to its strengths, try to mitigate the weakness, namely the poor mobility, and if you can, play smart, mutually support your allies, you should do well.